freaking first cut. Golly.
Welcome to the First Cut Podcast. I'm Rick Gehman, and this is your halftime report for this week's Genesis Invitational. We are just about halfway home. Joining me to break it all down and get us all excited about the big boppers that are brewing at the top of this board. I've got him. It is Patrick McDonald. Hello, Patty Ice.
Rick, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. Do you have a Valentine?
I don't. No, I guess the game of golf would be my Valentine.
Yeah.
Married to the game.
Yeah.
What about yourself? You obviously do. You have any plans?
I have my wife. Yes, for the first time in
my wife
6 years or so, I think we are going out to dinner. Which,
okay.
I mean, that takes like weeks of forethought because we had to make a reservation like weeks ago.
Look at you. Italian joint? I'm feeling Italian.
Yeah, it's like a prefix. I don't know. I'll just figure out the menu when I get there. But no, should be great.
We'll get you out of here then. We'll get you out of here.
I got time. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the golf that's been played around Torrey Pines this week and two very different rounds. So we've got the opening round that was on Thursday where not only was it incredibly wet and active rain, but also very gusty, very windy. The scoring average played 2.25 shots over par, a bit of a reprieve on Friday in the second round. The sun did pop out and the golf course was still wet from the rain, but not a active rain, not a ton of wind, and we saw an improvement of basically 2.5 shots to the average. It played a touch under par. I should note, Patrick, both of these rounds were played with preferred lies.
That's a key note there. I'm sure we'll discuss some of that preferred lying when talking about the leaders. And yeah, just seemed like a soft golf course with nice conditions, not too much wind out there compared to the first day, which looked absolutely brutal. I mean, you saw guys taking absolute daddy hacks out of the rough, coming off with just huge tufts of grass. Some really cool shots out there also, but just survival on Thursday, and then some good scoring today.
Speaking of survival, this is an event with a cut, one of the few signature events with a cut, top 50 and ties, plus anybody within 10 shots of the lead. But that cut line is set. It's going to be 4 over par, and there are a couple of names that we were looking to see if their seasons, if their runs were going to turn around. Patrick, I'm thinking of Cameron Young. I'm talking of Victor Hovland, maybe of Max Homa. No, not yet. Jordan Spieth, also not going to be around for the weekend.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of big names.
Sung Jae Im.
Relative. Sung Jae. Justin Rose played good at Pebble, not this week. He had a good history here, a former winner. Bobby Mack.
Rasmus Højgaard, who had a step.
Højgaard.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe just one of those they lost a little interest maybe at the after the first round, but this is what happens. So I was pitching the 10-shot rule only this past offseason, making that the cut for these signature events. That would have pushed it to two over, which would have been fun. But it's good to see. I know we want all these guys to be playing, but it's good to see some of them going home.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Listen, I like a cut, even if it's a small cut. I like a cut, so you're not going to hear anything sour coming from my end. Let's get you up to date. We've got go home, go do something else with your time. We've got to get you updated on 2 rounds of golf here, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about doing this. Let's start with a couple of guys who are lurking around the top of the leaderboard. Nick Dunlap goes out in 71-70. He's got a lot of pencil on the scorecard, as he always tends to do. His second round had, 2, 4, 6 birdies, 2 bogeys, and a double. He is still trying to find a lot of the consistency now in year 2 of his professional career, but he certainly has the massive upside.
He does, and I have to admit, I am completely unprepared for this halfway point podcast, being it's the first of the year for me. And
is it?
I thought we'd only talk about round 2. I didn't know round 1 was also included.
Well, you could just see. Here's the thing: you don't have to tell anybody.
Josh. I did not read the outline. I was so head down, married to the game. But I think we've talked about this with Dunlap a lot. The driver's an issue. Definitely an issue. When he's off, he is off, which you have to respect almost. Like if you're really gonna bomb, just bomb, right? You don't want to almost kind of fail. You want to really fail. So number 4 lost a ball there, made double bogey. But the upside, like you said, he brushes it off. Granted, that was his back nine. Brushed it off on the front side, got off to a great start. So I'm really looking at that driver over the weekend. It seems like a lot of guys are struggling with the driver this week. Not normally where they have it. Dunlap's one of them. But if he wants to catch who's in front of him, he doesn't really have that wiggle room anymore for that waywardness, if that makes sense.
Yes, no wiggle room for waywardness. I believe that is coming to a theater near you this summer. Wyndham Clark has not been on a great run over the last handful of months. We are starting to see maybe a little bit of that Wyndham magic where, similar to Dunlap, but with a higher floor, when Wyndham gets it going on, he looks like he's the best player in the world. Now, those flashes are obviously not consistent.
Clip that.
Rounds of 70 and 72. He is currently 2 under par. He's going to enter the weekend, Patrick, in a tie for 8th.
He is lurking, but I'm not sure if I have confidence in him tracking these guys down. His iron play was better today. He had a number of good shots. 14 was a really nifty shot in there, but this guy is so inconsistent. He's almost turned into a Hideki Matsuyama or a Victor Hovland type where he's very difficult to predict. And so DFS-wise or betting-wise, you always play the upside because his 4 top 5s last year, 3 signature events in the Players' Championship. Seems to come alive for those. You look in California, win at LACC and Pebble Beach, 2 of his 3. And so this week makes a lot on a soft golf course where you got to bomb it out there. He's still very long, but the driving is wayward as it typically is, only 6 fairways today. He had some short game struggles there on 15, made a bogey there on 17, and kind of just limped his way in. So I'm hesitant to say he'll make a move this weekend, but it is a welcome sight to see the Hamburglar. You know, he's got his hands on the table. He's ready to steal something, I think. Not this week, but down the road.
Okay, the Hamburglar's got his hands on something and he's getting ready to steal something at some point in the future. You are not getting that level of analysis anywhere else. We've got Ludvig Aberg, and this is kind of a 2-part story here, Patrick, because we remember a couple of weeks ago at the Farmers Insurance Open, he got off to an unbelievable start. He was blitzing the field through 2 rounds, and then the illness set on. Right? Became very sick. He did not play well over the weekend. He did not play well in his opening round at, what would that have been, Pebble Beach? And he withdrew. Off to a slow start on Thursday, a 74, but remember that scoring average was about 72.2. Right now, he is currently tied for the round of the day, and that is unlikely to change. A 66 on Friday flies him up 20 spots on the leaderboard. He's currently in a tie for 5th, 4 shots off the lead.
Iron play was way better today. Way better today compared to
Thursday.
Yes, compared to Thursday. I think people will look at his around the green numbers, and even you look at his event average for the week. He's outside the top half in approach play and putting. I'm curious about that putter, Rick. I don't know if you are, but it has piqued my interest just because it seems like he kind of misses a lot from that 6-foot range.
He does. He also, for the first time that I can remember, he hit some putts this week that I was like, what in the hell was that? That was ugly. He's very good from like 10 to 20 feet roll. Like, I don't know.
It was
It just
almost
kind of
like
looks
Scheffler today. Like Scheffler was
Yeah.
not great from 3 to 6, and then he got to 10 to 15, and it was just a lot more smooth.
Yes. So it's a little bit bizarre, but despite that, he is
right there.
And again, the way that Torrey Pines sets up for these guys, like Ludvig is a menace.
You would think if there's 3 horses coming down the home stretch on Sunday, he is one of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's 2 more that I'm keeping in my back pocket until the next segment, which is going to include 4 golfers. We've got the man finishing up on the golf course right now. We've got the number 1 player in the world. We've got more names to talk about, but first we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our partners.
Gives it to Jenkins for the championship. A 16 beats a 1. From sweet to elite to the final 4.
And we're back. I've got 4 names to talk to, and I can't wait any longer, Josh, so I do apologize to you. Denny McCarthy is wrapping up on number 9 right now, his final hole of the day. He has a 5-foot putt for birdie.
He's going to make it.
I will keep you updated. He was, I believe, he was first round leader, right? 68 on Thursday, got off to a little bit of a slow start today, a bogey on 12. He was 1 over with a handful of holes to go, but he made an eagle on number 6. And now he is standing over his putt for birdie on the final hole of the day.
I don't even have to look at it.
Putter back, putter through, center cut. That is a birdie for Denny McCarthy, moving him to 6 under par. That is going to put him 2 shots off the lead. And Denny, let me just check the numbers. Well, I guess we're going to have to wait for that to update. Is either first or second in strokes gained putting. That is no surprise. He is 3rd around the green for the week. He is positive on approach, and he's not losing too badly off the tee. That's the profile that gets Denny to 6 under through 2.
It's funny. He hit the ball well for him yesterday, right? Gained almost 2 strokes on approach. That's a great day for him. Over 3 from tee to green. Off the tee, he only hit 7 fairways. So to get around Torrey Pines and 4 under with 7 fairways on that day for someone like Denny McCarthy, who doesn't have a ton of length, can't teach length. That's very impressive. Today, Rick, before that birdie on number 9, he hit 6 greens in regulation. In 6 fairways. He hit 7 out of 14 fairways, so 50% again today in 7 out of 18 greens in regulation. Lost about over 2 strokes ball striking and still got around in 2 under. I know it was a lot easier, but you would figure if there was a day for Denny McCarthy to kind of backtrack, which he's been in this position a ton. Just look at the Sony Open. He scrapped it around that Saturday and lost a share of the lead alongside my brother and Patrick Fishburne. So I think he has staying power because he likes tough golf courses. Denny McCarthy, you hear him talk, he says, birdie fest, get those out of here. Go home with Jordan Spieth and Max Homa and the rest of the gang. But these difficult tests like a Memorial, like he played well at a U.S. Open, I think at the Country Club, he can compete in because he's a grinder. He's a guy that people describe like a slot receiver, right? High IQ, shifty, team player, glue guy, good in the trenches. They don't really say that about slot receivers, but you get my point.
They say quick release. That's all.
Twitchy.
That birdie moves Denny McCarthy into a solo 3rd position, which drops Rory McIlroy back to solo 4th. Rory's 2 rounds, pretty different, Patrick. He held it together on Thursday. He did not have the good stuff. He did not drive it well over his first 9. He did play a little bit better on his second 9 on Thursday to get it in at even par. But this second round today was very good, and I think it could have been a lot better. He made 4 birdies going out on the front, another on 10 before making bogeys on 12 and 14. He did not take advantage of the par 5 13th, though that is a difficult hole. He did not take advantage of the par 5 18th. He did not even take advantage of the par 5 6th. So that is 3 pars on 3 of the 4 5s that we have out there. Rory McIlroy in at 5 under for the week.
He has 5 5s on his scorecard.
And shot a 67.
Yeah. I thought the round could have maybe not gotten away from him, but almost like Friday at Pebble Beach, where he tripped over himself a little bit on that back nine. I thought something similar was about to happen in that middle stretch. Missed it left on 12, missed it left on 13, missed it left on 14.
Oh, hold on. The left on 14 was nearly missed the club face. He hit it 242 yards. It never got more than 30 feet off the ground and was the duckest of hooks left.
And you know what? That's not the first time he's done it this year. He did it on number 6 at Pebble Beach, I believe during Thursday or Friday round. I just thought to myself, not thinking anything of it. It's never going to happen again. It's happening. Second straight tournament that he's played in. So maybe something to monitor. Just pencil it away. Just start. But I thought this round had the potential to get away from him, but he had some really good sawed-off wedge shots, short shots coming in. And I think that's really been the story of Rory McIlroy's first 6 rounds on the PGA Tour this season is the controlled approaches from, say, 8-iron and in. And surprisingly for him, it's almost been the long game that has let him down a little bit, because I look at number 6, for example, a par 5, very reachable. He splits the fairway, but he misses left, which is the side you cannot miss on. We saw someone miss on the right side today, Rick, and it's a very simple up and down, maybe even an up and in for some. And Rory is chipping the ball great so far this season. I think it's a very underrated aspect of his game. And so conventional wisdom would suggest the long game is going to come around. He's going to start hitting a few more fairways. He's going to start missing in the right places a little more often.
Yeah.
And that does, he is going to be a very, 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 very dangerous man to try to fend off.
He missed in a lot of bad spots on Friday. Did not take advantage of the 5. Still shot a 67. Very good round for Rory McIlroy. Scottie Scheffler, the number 1 player in the world, is there. There's so much here, Patrick. This was a really strange round. The scorecard shows a 5 under 67 that was bogey free. You mentioned the man who missed it right and hold out on number 6. That's Scottie Scheffler, hold out from the bunker for eagle there. He was pretty bad with the driver. I mean, he was missing everything left. He was escaping every situation. He was making birdies from places you cannot make birdie. He was making pars from places you cannot make par. I was flipping through his shot link, and he is the only dot in some of these places. And if he's not the only dot in some of these places, he's the only blue dot in some of these places, which indicates a par when every other dot around him is black, indicating a bogey. We'll talk about, one of these holes specifically here with the drop that he took, but this was unbelievable escape abilities all day long.
Yes. And so I believe Josh has the 9 switched on the YouTube if you're watching. So the back 9 is on the front side, if that makes sense. Picking up what I'm throwing down
so the scorecard on the
back
screen,
the first
is in the order that he played the golf course.
Correct.
Which is 10 is first.
It was unbelievable that he was even par through 3 holes.
Unbelievable.
I could not believe it.
I have not made any investments up against Scottie Scheffler for 2 years. And this year I had a pretty nice position of Rory over Scottie. It is infuriating how good Scottie is, and that he played those first 3 holes in even par. I could not believe it.
I wish that we were back in the day when civilians like myself, because it is on my bucket list to one day experience a citizen's arrest someone, right? I wish we were back in the day when we could call into the PGA Tour for a rules infraction. You remember that? Someone would tee off just a little bit in front of the markers. Dude, people would call in.
And then they would enforce that.
Yes.
That's insanity.
I wish we would bring that back because the amount of calls the PGA Tour would have gotten for Scottie Scheffler, who followed the rule. The rule's probably not right.
Yeah.
On number 11.
11. Let's talk about it. Let me set this up. So this is 11. If you don't know, it's that par 3 on the edge of the property. It's like 215 yards. Scottie hit one very far left. It hit the cart path very hard, not even once, but twice. It went 49 yards past the green. It was up by the tee on 12. Okay. It is very far offline, very far past. Now,
and
from
shout
there
out to the marshal too.
Yeah.
On the job.
Yes. Now, Patrick, this is what I saw. I did not have the sound on. I turned the sound on late. What it looked like was, so his ball was miserable spot in the rough. He got relief from yeah, there it is on YouTube. If you're watching, that's 50 yards past the pin is where his ball ended up on a par 3. So he gets relief from the hole sign on 12, not necessarily because it was TIO, but because he thought he was going to hit it with his swing.
I'll be honest. I also had it on mute. It's a little trick I do for PGA Tour Live.
I never have the sound on. I never have the sound on for I usually never have the sound on at all.
This is brutal. I thought it was he got it from the cart path.
Okay, so either way. Oh, maybe he got cart path relief and then sign relief.
Okay.
So, but he ends up taking multiple driver lengths. And then here's the thing that I did not realize. So now he takes it back onto the tee box at 12. And because that is a closely mown area, he doesn't even have to drop it there. He gets to lift clean and place it on the 12th tee box. Teddy Scott gets him the number, 49 yards, no problem. He stuffs one in there, 3 feet, taps it in for par. What just happened?
Yeah, no, it, I played some very serious junior golf back in my day, high school matches, all that jazz. And it was always when you played closely or preferred lies, it's on your own hole that you can pick it up.
Yeah.
Only on your own hole. That has always been the rule in my mind. And when I saw that, I was ready to call in. I was ready to send a strongly worded DM to the PGA Tour account, which has replied to me before. But apparently I was reading your Twitter, the replies to that, and it's just anywhere you can take a drop. That's a horrible rule. So to Scottie's point, took advantage of the situation. But to the PGA Tour's point, we got to change it.
Okay, I just think, and yes, Scottie Scheffler did exactly what he was supposed to do. I just think it rubs people the wrong way when you go from one cut to another cut. So his ball's in the rough. He takes relief and he gets to drop it on a literal tee box. Not great.
Not great. No. And yeah, I totally agree with the whole, even if you get a drop from, say it's TIO, say it's from a sprinkler head, whatever, I think you should have to stay in that level of cut. If you're in the rough, you have to stay in the rough. If you're in the first cut, you have to stay in the first cut. Even when these guys are using preferred lies and they move at a club length or whatever from the fringe to the putting green or whatever to maybe get a flatter line. I hate that also. So that's a rule I am pitching to whoever's listening. Probably not the PGA Tour Live guys who we might have just made enemies of.
We still tune in.
Yeah, we do watch.
Yeah. The rest of the rounds, it was kind of Houdini level stuff. Scottie gets out of there bogey free. He is one shot off the leader. Now, I've saved the leader, Patrick. I've saved him. It's Davis Thompson. How about this guy? Finally a winner on tour last year. Opens with a 70, follows it up with a 66. His second 9 was full of fun. He pars 10, rattles off 3 birdies in a row. Then he bogeys 14 and 15, birdie 16, par 17, and stuffs one for a tap in birdie on 18. That's the way to end your day. That's the way to end your weekdays, because he is going to be in the final group. He's going to be the leader at the 36 hole mark.
Look, I've made some pretty egregious comments about Davis Thompson this offseason, saying that he was the next big thing. He was going to make the U.S. Ryder Cup team. And I'll admit, the first month and some of the season has been tough sledding for Davis Thompson and myself, but I have diamond hands, Rick. Never even thought about selling that stock, even without a top 30 finish coming into this week, even without a positive strokes gain approach coming into this week. Diamond hands. I'm never selling. And this is what you get when you FaceTime your coach on the range at Torrey Pines, which he did, and got a little tip with the irons. Said he was getting stuck a little bit underneath. Fixed it coming into the week. Bada bang, bada boom. Leading after 36 holes. Now, this is a big moment for him. A very big moment for him. I do believe he is up for it. I do believe it could be a little too soon for him, but it's going to be great experience for him. I think he plays very well this weekend. I don't know if he wins, though.
Yeah, I got to get you out of here. I know you got to do HQ here soon. So I'm just going to set this. I'm just going to set this up. We've got Scottie Scheffler lurking. We've got Rory McIlroy lurking. We've got Ludvig Aberg lurking. Their odds are, Josh, I don't see the Scheffler odds up. Do we have
even
those?
Money.
Even money. Okay. Scheffler at even money. Rory McIlroy 2-1. Davis Thompson plus 280. No.
Yeah,
sorry.
Rory's longer.
I have outdated odds then. So here we go. These are the updated odds. Scottie at even money. Rory at 4-1. Davis Thompson at 5.5-1. Denny and Ludvig are both at 12. I think that Vegas is not going to get burnt on Scottie Scheffler.
I think the bet's Rory. It's got to be.
Why not just bet Ludvig?
Because he's had weekend troubles in the past, because his Sunday scoring hasn't been great in contention, and because he hasn't gotten it done in over, what has it been, like 16 months? I
could convince myself that Rory can go a lot lower on the weekend and play a lot better, but I am so terrified that Scottie doesn't miss another fairway and just wins this golf tournament. He was bad off the tee.
Oh, he was not good. He went to the range, like not even like let me check my grip, just a cool off session.
Horrible lies, horrible stances, extraction.
The shot he hit on 5 was unreal.
Which was the one on 5? The one where
around the tree from the rough.
Yes, unbelievable.
Like
the one.
feet.
Then he had the one. I don't even know. Was it 4? I get it screwed up because he. Yeah, because he played him backwards.
Tear his ACL.
Yes, he it's a baseball swing. He's standing on the top edge of the bunker, and then he just gets it up. He's short sided. He's in a horrible lie. Just never any stress. He hits it to 2 feet, taps it in for par, moves on. It was unbelievable.
That shot was why golf fans. I love golf fans. Don't get me wrong, but some on the grounds are just like the dumbest people alive. Where they want to get so close to the action. They have no idea how much trouble they potentially could be in. You have Scottie Scheffler with a fairway wood on his toes with heels over the bunker. This guy moves his feet every single which way when he's swinging a golf club. He's choked up almost to the graphite of it, and he falls into the bunker. I'm just thinking the whole time, this is squirting right into someone's shin.
Yeah.
God forbid he is the world number 1, and that didn't happen, but part of me was rooting for it.
I also think it's probably Rory McIlroy here. I mean, Scottie even money with
Tupac is asking new to golf. Should I bet on Scottie? I bet on Scottie and Rory. Worst case, Scottie wins. You win your money back. Rory, you win a little bit.
If you just make a habit of betting on Scottie Scheffler for the foreseeable future, you're probably going to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts before I get you out of here? Patrick's going to go on HQ and do a round recap, which you can tune in cbssports.com/live or on the HQ app. Anything else, Patrick?
Oh God, now you got me all nervous with a couple new viewers.
Mm-hmm.
No, I got nothing. Enjoy your Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Thank
to
you.
you and yours.
Yeah, I mean, geez, Friday is Valentine's Day. Monday is President's Day. It's just a holiday.
We may have a line for the TGL tickets, still TBD, but I've heard the word has been sent. The carrier pigeon is flying to the coop, and
for all 3 days, triple header.
Absolutely not, just the 1 o'clock match. Me, my father, and my uncle. So,
I might have to fly in for that.
We have a white guy in his 20s and 2 white guys in their mid 60s, which is exactly the audience TGL is trying to capture.
They're gonna hate it. I want to know.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
All right, that'll do it. We'll be back on Sunday. We'll have a champion, and we'll get you all set up for next week's Mexico Open. Ooh. Thank you, producer Josh. He does all the hard work behind the scenes. That right there. It's Patrick McDonald at P McDonald CBS. You can find me at Rick Run Good. This has been The First Cut. Catch you next time.